Hey folks, David Frost, LazyGapTrader.com. In this video, we're talking about day trading, but more specifically, we're talking about gap trading. Gap trading is by far the single best and most consistent and profitable day trading strategy found across the markets today. What I do is teach traders how to trade the gaps proficiently. You're looking at a chart on the screen of HOLX. This is an example of a gap trade from this morning. It was a gap fill trade, which I'll review in a minute. But before we do that, and there's a couple of other charts we're going to get to, let me go over and show you the email that goes out to my subscribers first thing in the morning, 30 minutes before the market opens. It comes out at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In my course at LazyGapTrader.com, I teach two gap trading strategies. One is the morning gap trades, where we're looking to identify stocks that are gapping higher or lower at the open, and what I teach is how to identify and calculate a specific price level where a stock should have a price reaction in the other direction. In the second part of the course, I teach another strategy within gap trading called the gap fill trades. That's where stocks come back to fill gaps left open from a prior day's trading activity. So let's dissect exactly what happened today on both the morning gap trades and the gap fill trades. So the first list you see here, daily gap trades, these are the morning gap trades. You can see we had 5 possible morning gap trades on the board today, and unfortunately 4 did not hit their levels, and that happens. The trading day is still operating, the session is still open, so there's still a chance. However, 1 so far hit its level, but unfortunately it was not a winning trade. And in trading, you have to understand, and traders do understand, you can't win 100% of the trades. It's impossible, and anybody that tells you any different, run for the hills. But what we can do is win a majority of the trades, which we do at Lazy Gap Trader. So let's review the one morning gap trade that did hit its level, which was Dick's Sporting Goods, DKS. I say gap lower, support levels are 49.91 and 49.27. Stop and profit target is about 35 to 50 cents. We're going to go look at the chart in a minute. And the last 4 trades, Casey, Extended Stay, Dish Networks, and Michael's companies, they didn't hit their levels, and therefore they're off the board. They become no trades for the day. We're only interested in trades that hit our specific price levels with a high probability of having a price reaction in the other direction. Now, before we look at the charts, let's take a look at a secondary list that I provide to traders each and every day. This is the gap fill trade list. So we did have 3 gap fill trades so far today, and the day is still young, that hit their levels. We had Michael's Companies hit its level, HOLX hit its level, and Hess hit its level. We're going to take a look at the charts in a second, but before we do, I just want to make mention that on the morning gap trades, I provide those to members each and every morning at 9 o'clock, and included in the same email is a whole list of gap fill trades, which I provide about 30 potential gap fill trades each and every morning. Now we have to remember these numbers because the gap fill levels are where we're expecting a price reaction in the other direction. So for example, HOLX, we have a price reaction expected at $42.02. Michael's, MIK, we have a price reaction expected at $21.66. And Hess, we have a price reaction expected at $49.70. Let's go to the charts. HOLX, pretty self-explanatory. You see the horizontal line running across the top of the screen, $42.02. We pierced through that level, making a high of 42.17, an immediate pullback, and look at the pullback we got. This was a short trade at 42.02, and in the same 10-minute candle, the stock made a low of $40.77. That's a tremendous trade, folks. This was a gap fill trade, and remember, given out 30 minutes before the market opened. Let's take a look at another one. Michael's, $21.66, and as you can see, the stock made a high of $21.84 within our stop loss limitation, and look what happened next. The stock had a tremendous pullback, making a low so far of $20.53, another gain of over $1 just like the HOLX trade. Here's the Hess trade. You can see the level of $49.70. I'm still in this trade as we speak. It had made a low of exactly $49.70 and had a price reaction, so far making a high of $49.99. This trade is still active and operating. Folks, anybody looking for a specific strategy that's repeatable and consistent, come over to lazygaptrader.com. Check out the course. I explain everything that's in the course, and I can teach you how to trade the gaps successfully each and every day. I'm David Frost, lazygaptrader.com. Thanks for tuning in, traders.